I wanted to ask you about Ryan Kesler. Have you seen any evolution in his game?
Well, obviously he's playing real well. He's been a good player for a long time. I thought he was excellent last year in Olympics. I thought he took a step after that, confidence-wise. I haven't seen him enough to know the reports, but I read something about where he talked about he's not getting involved with everyone else, just playing the game and shooting the puck in the net for sure. They got a real good 1-2 punch as far as offensive guys on two lines. Now, I think when he first came to the league, I know he was more of a matchup guy and made it hard on you. And now he's scoring. And, that's just the growth of a good player. A number of years back, I think it was Bobby Clark who made an offer on him, and at that time you thought, gee, that's a lot of money. Well, it wasn't a lot of money. Maybe the guy knew what he was doing.
Talk about, obviously face-offs always important, but especially against this team, I think they're the best in the league at it by a fairly wide margin.
Well, they got two guys that are exceptional, and then you add in their Sedin's at 55% as well, and then even I noticed that Bolduc's at about 65 right now, so they're doing a real good job in that area. And I think it's a critical part of the game. You end up with the puck. They're fortunate with a right-hand shot in Kessler and a left-hand shot in Malhotra. Especially teams-wise, they can have it on either side of it. Things on the penalty kill and on the power play with Kessler and then Sedin, you have the same thing. So they're set up well that way. There's no question. And face-offs are more critical even at playoff time. So that'll be good for them.
Hey, Mike, obviously with the success the franchise has had, that it's a marathon, not a sprint, yet the conference is so tight right now in the West. How do you look at a game like this against a team that's right near you in the standings?
Well, I look at every game right now. When you're in a lull like we are right now, we haven't been as good here for 8 games. And so any time you look at it, we've had some good games in that time. We found a way to lose a couple games that we thought we played pretty well in, that you might not look at it. But the bottom line is you got to get playing, and we're +5 out of being out of the playoffs. I think everyone talks about, okay, you're here. Well, the reality is for all these teams is you never know when you're going to get injured. So things can go wrong for you. Play well when you got everybody, and we haven't been as good as we need to be. This is a great game for us today. Our players got to know if we don't play really well, this team's going to beat us, and I think that's important.
Do you believe in the idea of a statement game during the regular season?
No, sure, you're playing the team, but it's like 4-pointers. I've never seen anyone get 4 points. Whole time I've been in hockey. It never happened since I've been in the game. And these statement games, they play the next day and we play the next day. Get your 2 points. The greatest thing about this league, if you win today, everything's okay.
Never heard you talk about how far you are out of falling out of playoffs before you.
Oh no, I think I talked about it lots. I think last year at this time I was talking about we're 6 points out of the playoffs or something, So, we talk about it every year internally and probably externally, just depending on where the situation. But it's tight in the West for sure. We feel we have a good team, but we also feel there's lots of good teams, and the depth in the West, in my opinion, is as good as it's ever been, and the line is finer now. Maybe your ranking going into the playoffs isn't as important as it used to be. I still believe that the more you win, the more you're set up to win, the more you believe you're going to win, and in the end, the teams that win the most usually keep on winning. So that's our focus here. We got to get back on track and get feeling good about ourselves. And confidence in the NHL is fleeting. I don't care if you're a great goal scorer. If you haven't scored in a while, it's missing. And the same with teams when winning.
What have you disliked the most of the last 8?
We give up too many shots and we've given up too many goals. That's the bottom line. So you go through the whole thing. Structurally, we haven't been as good. Energy-wise, we haven't been as good. And we've been giving too many up. So we got to do a better job.